E equals mc².
A biography of the world's most famous equation by David Bodanis is a fascinating and accessible exploration of the origins, meaning, and significance of one of the most famous equations in the world. Bodanis approaches the equation as a story, tracing its roots from the scientific ideas of the ancient Greeks to the experiments of Albert Einstein and beyond. The book is organized into 10 chapters, each of which focuses on a different aspect of the equation. In the first chapter, Bodanis sets the stage by discussing the history of the concept of energy and its relation to matter. He explains how scientists of the 19th century came to understand that energy could be transformed from one form to another, but that the total amount of energy in the universe remained constant. This idea was known as the principle of conservation of energy. If you'd like to listen to this book on Audible for free, you can click the link in the description below. If you'd rather read this book, I've added a link to Amazon. Please feel free to leave a comment suggesting another book you'd like me to summarize. Now back to the summary. Bodanis then introduces the key players in the development of the equation, Albert Einstein and his predecessors. In Chapter 2, Bodanis discusses the work of James Clerk Maxwell, who developed the equations that describe the behavior of electromagnetic waves. These equations laid the groundwork for Einstein's later work on the relationship between energy and mass. Chapter 3 focuses on Einstein's early life and the events that led him to his famous equation. Bodanis describes how Einstein's curiosity and intuition led him to question the foundations of physics, and how his experiences working in a patent office gave him the time and space to pursue his ideas. In Chapter 4, Bodanis introduces the key concept of relativity, which underlies Einstein's equation. He explains how Einstein's theory challenged the traditional view of space and time as absolute and independent of one another. Instead, Einstein showed that space and time are intertwined and depend on the observer's point of view. Chapter 5 delves into the details of Einstein's famous equation, breaking down each component and explaining what it means. Bodanis describes how the equation relates the mass of an object to its energy content, and how this energy can be released through nuclear reactions. In Chapter 6, Bodanis discusses the implications of the equation for nuclear power and weaponry. He explains how Einstein's equation was used to develop the atomic bomb, and how the resulting destruction led to a new era of global politics. Chapter 7 explores the ongoing research into nuclear energy and its potential for both good and bad. Bodanis discusses the challenges of harnessing nuclear energy in a safe and sustainable way, and the risks of nuclear accidents and proliferation. In Chapter 8, Bodanis examines the equation in the context of the wider universe. He discusses how the equation relates to the origins and fate of the universe, and how it helps us understand the behavior of stars and galaxies. Chapter 9 takes a philosophical turn, exploring the implications of the equation for our understanding of the nature of reality. Bodanis discusses how the equation challenges our traditional view of matter as something solid and fixed, and how it suggests that everything is in a constant state of flux. Finally, in Chapter 10, Bodanis reflects on the ongoing significance of the equation in our lives today. He discusses how the equation has become a cultural icon, appearing in everything from pop songs to t-shirts. He also reflects on the ongoing research into the equation and its applications, including the potential for using nuclear energy to combat climate change. Throughout the book, Bodanis uses clear and engaging prose to explain complex scientific ideas in a way that is accessible to a general audience. He also weaves in historical anecdotes and personal stories to provide context and make the material more engaging. Please click the subscribe button and head down to the description below to listen to this book for free on Audible. See you in the next summary.